1993 BC 27. Let's try our shortcut again for this. We can see that the center is very likely at x equal 1 there. And since it has to be, it's going to have to be symmetric about x equals 1, then x equals 3 and negative 3, that can't be, x equals 1, c could be, d could be, x equals 1, e could be as well. So we got rid of those two choices. So we don't know just yet which it will be, but we may be able to trick it just a bit. Let's test endpoints. None of the endpoints are the same there, so I don't think we're going to be able to do that. We're going to have to use the ratio test to find the actual interior of the interval of convergence. Limit as n approaches infinity of absolute value x minus 1, we need the n plus first term, over 3 to the n plus 1, then times the reciprocal of the nth term, absolute value of x minus 1 to the nth. Right? Limit as n approaches infinity. We have 3 to the n over 3 to the n plus 1, and that is going to give us 1/3, and absolute value x minus 1 to the n plus 1 over x minus 1 to the nth is going, that needs to be, before we worry about what it has to be less than, let's just simplify this again. We have absolute value of x minus 1 over 3. Now that limit has to be less than 1. If I multiply through both sides by 3, I get that x minus 1 absolute value is less than 3. So x minus 1 less than 3, greater than negative 3. Adding 1 over, I can see that I'll have negative 2 to positive 4. And so I know now that my answer cannot be E as well. And since the only thing in question is whether or not, if you look at the answer C and D, they both concede that the series does not converge at x equals 4, so we only need to test at x equals 2. X equals negative 2. And what happens at negative 2? At negative 2, we're going to get negative 3 to the n over 3 to the n. And since this is the same as negative 1 to the n, 3 to the n over 3 to the n, which will cancel, that means I'm just going to have alternating 1s. And so that definitely diverges. The limit as n goes to infinity does not go to 0, and so my final answer then is not D, has to be C. Alright, hopefully that helps there. Again, if you were unclear of what that came out to be, that would look like starting from n equals 0 be 1 minus 1 plus 1 minus 1 plus 1, etc. And because the terms do not, the limit as n goes to infinity of the term does not go to 0, then limit as n approaches infinity of a sub n does not equal 0 diverges. Alright, that'll do it for this problem and this video.